Welcome back, everybody. Back in the shop working on the C for a little bit tonight. Don't know how much we'll get done. It's kind of late. We got to get headed back down pretty quick. But we're going to try to get the front wheels off, get the radiator off, get the steering bolster and every gearbox and everything out of the way. I ordered a new engine stand today for it, 2,000 pounds. Be more than overkill for this, but if we ever have to do the M or anything like that, we'll have a heavier duty engine stand. So that should be here hopefully by this weekend, and we can get this engine off and get the head pulled off of it and see what happens. So anyway, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get the steering pedestal and the front wheels off. I've already, as you can tell, got it off the ground with our handy little stand we built. I'm telling you, if you guys don't have one of them, you do any of this kind of work, you need to build one, because that thing is a lifesaver. I don't know how I ever got by without it. Anyway, we'll get these 4 nuts pulled off, or 3 nuts and 1 square-headed bolt, and go ahead and get these out of the way. Then we'll drain the radiator and cooling system and get the radiator and everything off, and might go ahead and get this pulled off tonight. Will say, I do like working on this tractor a lot better than that M. Everything is a lot lighter and easier to work with. This has probably always been, out of all the tractors we've got, this one's probably always been one of my favorites. I bought this 3 years ago from my grandma and grandpa, and it's been a good little old tractor. That one a little tight. Okay. I wanted the nut to come off and the stud to stay, but if it wants to come out that way, it can come out that way. That's fine by me. The sand burrs out of my arm, come out of that tire. The nut came off of that one. Go figure. Bearings in that sound a little dry. Alright. That should hold all the antifreeze that's in it. We hope. See if we can make a mess. A little gunk in the bottom of the radiator or something. Pretty common on these to see it quite often, get the drains on the radiator plugged up. There we go. Hopefully that bucket will hold all of it. It was already half full of antifreeze from another one. It should hold it all. While that's draining, I could get a screwdriver and go ahead and undo the hose clamps on the radiator hoses. I don't know if that's going to hold it all or not. It's getting close to the top. I better sit here and watch it. I didn't think these held that much coolant, but maybe they do. Out there, it's slowing down. Okay, all the clamps are loose. Should be able to take that bolt right there out. And the two under here, and should be able to pull that radiator up out of there. I was on the wrong bolt. No wonder it was tight. Guy really needs to invest in a set of ratchet wrenches. Okay, should be everything holding the radiator right there. crud in the cooling system. Oh, it'll all get cleaned out. Yummy. Okay. Now we can pull off the alternator. And the fan. Bought one of these neck lights the other day. Another thing I recommend getting. That thing is nice. Okay. Loosen those two bolts off. And looks like that one down there. We're going to redo this alternator bracket too. That thing's kind of a Mickey Mouse contraption. Don't know why we've got two bolts here, one here, and one down here, all to hold an alternator on, but we do. And they are all half, and I grabbed a 7/16 wrench. Whoops. It's always been interesting to me to see the different ways people come up with mounting an alternator for a 12-volt conversion. That bolt, they ground the head off of it to allow clearance for the belt. And down here, we've got a carriage head bolt with a nut on it. I'm really not sure what our reasoning was there either. I mean, it's worked all these years, so. Not real sure what they were doing there. I always like to keep all the parts, like all the alternator bolts, and brackets and everything, I'll put in these bags and I'll write up here what they go to. So when we get ready to go back together, you just grab the bag you need and you're good to go. Now, if we can pull the fan off, loosen it off, get that belt out of the way. I don't quite remember exactly how that works. I think we just take it loose right there, if I remember right, and it goes up and down. I think. But not with that wrench. Maybe it was that wrench. Just take this water jacket assembly off. There's so much dirt down there under the crank pulley, I can't get the fan belt around it. Yeah, we'll get that out of there. You can see there's so much dirt down in that bolster. But that belt is just not wanting to come out of there. That's okay. Okay guys, it's the next day. We got pretty late last night, so we didn't get quite as much done as we wanted to. Tonight we're going to finish up by pulling this front bolster off. As soon as my helper gets back in here, I'm going to try to hold it. I've already got it loose. I'm going to try to hold it while she takes the bolts out. And we're going to let it down on the ground, so hopefully don't drop it on our toes. There she is.
Ready?
Ready.
This one? No.
Either one of them.
It's greasy.
Okay, everyone. Today's the day we're going to get the engine off of the C. We may have to stop midway through this. We've got loads of hay coming in today too, so when he gets here with another load of hay, I'll have to go unload him, but we're going to try to get as much of this done as we can. So, first thing we got to do is take this fuel tank support bracket off. There's just 2 bolts I think holds it on. One of them wasn't even tight. I've been waiting for the last few days for get a new engine stand in that I had ordered. But a couple days after I ordered it, I got an email from eBay that my account was suspended due to some kind of suspicious activity or something. I don't know what that was all about. So I just canceled the order, and I was gonna run over to Harbor Freight today and buy another one, but I decided against that since the hay was coming in. So we just, for now, I took the engine off my little cub. It was on my other stand. We just pulled it off and set it on a tire and wrapped it back up, and we'll just use the one I had. So right now I'm just disconnecting the kill wire for the magneto. Let it hang back there out of the way. And I've already drained the oil out of it. I think now we'll just take them 2 bolts out there, get the cover off, and we'll be ready to get the cherry picker over here. Over 1/2 inch. I think there's just, yeah, there's just 2 that hold that on. Should just slide on out of there. Mud dauber nest. And a whole bunch of other nasty, gunky stuff. Yummy. Okay, anyway. There is no telling what you might find in the bell housing of these old tractors when you tear into them. Now, we'll get the cherry picker over here, get it in place, get a bolt from here and here on a chain, and we'll be ready to pick this up off of here. Got a chain there that's about 3 miles too long, but it'll work. My chain I was going to use is on my service truck, and it's in town. We brought the feed pickup out here to be able to stack hay with. So. like I said, we've got 10 extra miles of chain here. It'll be okay. Let's see how that works. Okay, good work. The excess up there. Pull all the bell housing bolts out. There's 6 of them all together. I already pulled one out last night, so I knew what size bolt I needed to get to. Mount onto the stand. And then a little. Bring that up just a little. There, we're coming out evenly. Yeah, should be able to wiggle her free. Just a hair more. Hung up on the clutch a little there. The nice part about these stands I made, I can jack one side or the other up independently. And have plenty of adjustment. But what are we hung on? There she's coming. I always kind of like to loosen those in just a little bit of a crisscross pattern. Yeah, now you guys can probably see the flywheel is all boogered up. That old clutch has seen better days too. Yeah, been slipped and been hot a time or two. There's still some wear surface left on it, but not much. Oh, good old fold over locks. Well, that pilot bushing was gone. That might have been part of what we were hung up on too. Oh, 9/16. And that's what I was afraid of. There we go. Not really that tight, but when you're trying to break them free, and all that wants to happen is the engine turning. Why that one is so tight coming out. Yeah, threads are a little boogered up on the end of him. Yeah, if that flywheel just come off of there. Like so. Now that we've got all that off, now we can bolt the stand to it and get it on the stand and get it off the cherry picker. That makes me nervous. I wasn't sure. I knew they were 1/2-inch bolts, but I wasn't sure what length I would need. So I went to the lumberyard and bought a whole big assortment of them. And I will say this, I would a lot rather buy bolts at our local farm store, because they are sold by the pound. At our hardware store, they are sold individually. And $41 later for bolts that I wasn't even sure what sizes I needed seemed a little ridiculous, but I did not want to drive 40 miles one way just to pick up bolts today. And half-inch bolts, they'll get used around here somewhere. That is why I bought different assortment of lengths. I just wasn't real sure as to what it might take. Just realized you guys were zoomed in a little too far. I'm sorry. Looks like we're pretty well in the center line. Don't really like getting wrapped up in two major projects like this. I've got a Cub lowboy in the corner right now that is in pieces. But this tractor here, it takes precedent over everything, because this tractor, it works around here. The rest of them are just kind of play toys. This one had to come first. So let's get the old stand put on it and get her set down on the ground. All right, everyone. That's going to do it for this episode on the Farmall C. We got quite a bit done. We got the engine off. We got a lot of cleaning in there to do. Throwout bearing's pretty well shot. It's going to get a new clutch, new throwout bearing, all that good stuff. So anyway, that's the end of this. Next episode I'm gonna bring table in here and set up, or as we tear this down, we can lay everything out. In the next episode, we'll get the head and get all the external stuff off first, the mag, the governor, intake and exhaust manifold, all that, get it down to just a bare engine. And then we'll get the head off of it and have a look down in there and see, maybe we could see what happened. Hopefully it was just a head gasket. I really don't want to have to try to find another head. I've got another head, but it's on a Farmall A that the engine itself has been rebuilt. But after it was rebuilt, and the old man that it belonged to, he passed away, and it got put outside, and the can blew off the exhaust, and it got full of water. So that head would have to go and be redone again, because all the valves are rusted up on it. But it is a good head. If this one happens to be cracked or something, we do have another head we could use. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping that antifreeze on this number 4 cylinder just came from a leaking head gasket. So, but that's where we're at on this. So I want to thank y'all for watching, and if you want to see the next episode where we tear into this and get ready to rebuild it. Oh, and we're doing a full rebuild on this, and I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and splurge the extra bit of money and put fire crater pistons in it. Give us a little more power, because this old tractor, even as tired as it is, it done okay mowing, but you get into some pretty tall grass, or we've got a lot of sagebrush and stuff out here, it bog her down a little. So I think we're gonna go ahead and spend the extra little bit of money, not maybe 100, 150 bucks more last time I checked, and get the rebuild kit that's got the fire craters in it. So give her a little more power. But anyway, if y'all want to see that next episode where we tear into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you can, give us a like too. See anything you want to comment on, tips, tricks, whatever, you know where the comment section is. So I'm gonna get cleaned up, and our next load of hay should be here anytime. Take a break from this, go back to stacking hay again. So anyway, we'll see y'all next time.